Alright guys, in this video I'll be going over piecewise functions. Now piecewise functions, they're pretty much going to be all about graphing. So once you get a problem looking like this, where you have two different functions, 1, 2, it's going to be all graphing. Alright, so again, this is my first function, this is my second function. They're going to be all about graphing. Alright, so the first thing that I like to do is look at these values here. Okay, so here, look at the different numbers that you're given. The only number here given, it's -2. -2 is the only given number. You can have more numbers, but that would mean but for that to happen, you would need more functions, more than two functions. So in this case, we only have two functions. So there's only one value, and this is an x value, x, and there's at -2. So at -2 something is happening. So what I like to do is I like to make an imaginary line just going through -2. There's my imaginary line. Okay, so again, this is all about graphing. So let's look at the first one. Right, the first one here, this is my y-intercept, this is my slope, same thing. So my y-intercept is 1, so let me go 1 unit up. There's my point, and then I have a slope of -2. So it's -2/1, so that means I go 1 over, and because it's negative, I'm going to go 2 down. 1, 2. There's my point. So I got my 2 points. Now, notice, okay, no, I got 2 points. Alright, so I'm going to make my line. Pretty much going to make my line this way. And it also goes over that way. Sorry for not being the straightest line ever, but that's my line. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to graph my second line. So my second line, this is my y-intercept, -4, and my slope is 1/1. So I'm going to go 4 down, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my y-intercept for the second graph. And I have a slope of 1 over and 1 up. So 1 over and 1 up. There you go. So there are my 2 points. Gotta connect them. Actually, let me make this line a little bit straighter. So it'll go. So it has to go through there. Okay, well, a little bit better. Alright, so now I gotta look at this. So my first graph goes with this. Alright, so my first graph, it says that x has to be less than or equals to -2. So I'm gonna look at my imaginary line, and at this line, the line that has a y-intercept of 1, so I'm looking at this graph, and it says that it has to be less than or equals to -2. Again, this is -2, so it has to be less than or equals. Less than is to the left, so I want to keep everything to the left. That pretty much means I just want to keep everything going this way for the graph. Alright, so I'm pretty much going to erase all of this, because that is not less than or equal. Okay, I want everything less than or equals to this -2. So here, on this point, I'm going to erase everything that is not less than. Everything on this side, it's greater. I don't want that. I want everything that is less than, and that means everything going this way. Alright, now it says equals. Alright, so because of this equals, it means that at this point, at -2, I'm gonna have a closed circle, because it is equals. Okay, so there's a closed circle. Right, so this is this line. Now the second one, it says x has to be greater than -2. So I'm going to look at my graph. And greater than -2 is everything this way. Everything to the right of -2 is greater. So I pretty much want everything this way. So I don't want everything this way, because everything to the left will be less. I don't want things that are less. I want everything that is greater than -2. but it cannot be negative 2. It can be everything greater, but not negative 2. So that means that at negative 2 on this point, I'm going to have an open circle. Just like that. So my graph is going to go from here on this way. And from here on upwards. And this is my piecewise function. The graphing of it. Alright. Well, and also I promised that I was going to give shout outs to some students. So shout out to Daniela, Daniel, Paola, Alanis, and Ivan.